everybody, welcome to the channel, especially those of you who are new. We're going to be doing the weekly messages today, just some quick check-in kind of messages, see how your week is going. Some weeks I do more extended individual weekly readings, but this week we are just doing a quick all signs for the weekly reading. I will have quite a few other all sign readings available this week as well, so definitely make sure you're subscribed so you can stay up to date with all of the content. We are running a promotion throughout November as well, so if you do leave a comment on any of the November videos, you will go in the draw to win a free personal reading. So leave me a comment, let me know if there's any specific topics you would like me to do a reading on. I'd be more than happy to take those ideas on board and work with you guys as well. Today I am using the Doors of Destiny Oracle deck as well as the Terra Lenormand. Okay, so anyone that is new to the channel, we do Lenormand here on my channel rather than tarot. I can read tarot, I'm just not as confident or as experienced with tarot. The Lenormand is, my jam, so we're going to roll with that. Sometimes you will see me incorporate tarot into the readings, so definitely let me know if that's something that you want to see more of on the channel as well. As always, timestamps will be in the description box, and we will start off today with our Aries. All right. Okay, Aries. Important messages for Aries. What does Aries need to know the most right now? What does Aries need to know the most right now, please? Whoa, okay. That one. That is the Door of the Ancestors, Aries. In your DNA, it's legacy, roots, wisdom, connection, and guidance. So looking to the past for wisdom. So this is kind of a message here. We want to, I do feel specifically it's coming through with parents. So for a lot of you, this is looking at your parents and what they did right, what they did wrong, and learning from that, using that to incorporate, what you're doing and what you're putting into place in your life, whether you're, wanting to embody those ancestors of yours, or whether you're needing to, use that as a power to, okay, well, that's what I'm not going to be like in my life. Okay, but we'll clarify that message for you, Aries. Okay, Aries. What does Aries need to know the most right now, please? I'm hearing staying grounded at the moment as well, Aries, taking care of that side of things. We do have the tree coming through first for you. So, this has been a period of, once again, that does give a nod to the wisdom of the family tree, the ancestral roots, definitely coming back through in that message with the tree there. But this is about the way that you take care of yourself, or the way that you have been taking care of yourself, because we do see the scythe coming through next. So that lets us know that there is something that does need to change, that you're needing to break free from some sort of most likely a bad habit, something along those lines. For some of you, this could be, it's kind of like breaking those generational traumas and curses and whatnot, where if you grew up, I'm just as an example here, I am sort of getting given the example of, being a child of an addict and using that to sort of really push yourself to say, I don't want to live that life that my parent has, already lived. I need to learn from that and do better than that for myself, because I've experienced what that is like as the child. I don't want to do that to other people in my life. That kind of energy, you're breaking free from some stuff that has been holding you back with your healing and your self-growth. Your own inner maturity and wisdom is now starting to shine through, and it's giving you this power to be able to break free from those bonds where you do need to, in order to bring about change in your world. We do see the rider coming through after that as well, Aries. So we do see, change on the way. That you may fall and get off that, fall off that horse, but it's all about how we get back up and try again, how we, get back up, try again, and that you are able to then sort of ride off into the sunset and bring forth, much better messages towards your your ancestry path, regardless of whether you have children or not. The legacy that you're leaving upon this world, kind of thing, Aries. So just some stuff there that you do need to really think about, the ways that you do or do not want to follow the family business, so to speak. Okay, but that's what we've got coming through for you, Aries. You're more than welcome to check other placements. Make sure you do leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading as well. And we will move over to Taurus. Okay, Taurus, what do you need to know most right now? Taurus energy, please. Taurus, the door of hope. There is a reason to hope, Taurus. This is optimism, faith, your beliefs, encouragement, and reassurance for oneself. So, reassuring yourself that, there is a reason to have hope. There is a reason to have faith that not all is lost. Even that which is lost can be found once again. Okay, so this is a message of, finding hope, even in amongst all the darkness. There's still reason to hope and hold on to hope and have faith that things will turn the corner that you want it to go. Taurus, clarifying this message for you. What does Taurus need to know the most right now? Most likely to do with, it's very interesting because I have the fish coming through first, okay? And so that generally does talk about money and abundance. So I kind of get this energy here, Taurus, that for a lot of you, you're like, oh, money and abundance, that's what I want, that's what I want. But the interesting thing here is that your thoughts are actually on patterns and relationships. Okay, we have the clouds followed by the ring. So, there is something very strongly here. Well, the ring is also your card, Taurus. So, we do see here that your thoughts are very muchly on, yourself and needing to take care of yourself and changing patterns that you've kind of gotten stuck in those cycles, especially when it comes to do with abundance and money, of course, but also relationships with that ring card here. Your relationship with money, your relationship with abundance, okay? Because abundance is a lot more than just money. That there is a reason to hold on to hope that you can have it all. All right, that abundance is, those things that make you feel fulfilled in this life. For some of us, that's money, but a lot of the time, money is just the means to the end. Like, do you want the money so you can buy a property? Do you want the money so you can travel? What is the money for? So sometimes when we're looking at that goal, that hope for, money and increase in our abundance, there's actually, a reason that we're wanting that. So looking beyond just the dollar amounts that you're seeking here, and asking yourself, what is the purpose? What is my relationship with the money itself? And what would that actually gain for me? The money itself is not going to do me any good if it's just sitting there in the bank, right? But what am I actually going to use that for? What is it going to make me, feel like abundant? In what areas of my life do I want that abundance and the wealth, feeling like the richest person in the world is not always money. All right. So definitely looking at, the way that you think about money and your perspectives are slightly shifting, I feel, at the moment, to a more sort of hopeful stance, because you've been in this phase of overthinking it all as well, Taurus. So this is all about, finding that faith and that reassurance to know that, no matter what happens with my money, I know that I am going to be okay, and that there is going to be, the turning that corner that I want to down the track. Even if it doesn't happen tomorrow, I have hope that it will happen for me. And it's just the perspective shift within your own thoughts towards that really makes the big difference for you at the moment, Taurus. So definitely think about what the hope of abundance actually means to you, because like I said, there's more than just a dollar figure that this actually means to you. It's a little bit deeper than that, Taurus. So, what exactly is that for you? And that will help you, encourage you to find that hope once again, and know, have that sense of inner knowing that, you are going to turn that corner and be a lot more abundant in your life than you feel as though you might currently be. All right, but make sure you do check your other placements and leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading. And we will move on over to our Geminis. Okay, Gemini, what does Gemini need to hear the most right now? What does Gemini need to know the most? Gemini, the door of patience. Why do I feel like I had this for you earlier in the week sometime, maybe in the animal messages reading that we did, Gemini? Was that you that had patience? No, I don't think it was actually. Okay, but that's all about endurance, perseverance, resilience, and steadfastness. Standing your ground, being patient to know that you will gain the results that you seek as long as you, take smaller steps, small steps, and sometimes that even means just halting and observing. All right, so let's see if we can get a bit more information about what exactly that is all about. Gemini. What does Gemini need to know the most right now? Okay, yes. Patience, so that we can see through the illusions that the past has left us in. All right, we have the snake coming through with the mice. And we all know snake eat the mice, right? But the mice talks about things from the past that you feel as though have been lost or taken from you, things that still probably stress you out a little bit, sit in the back of your head or in the back of your energy, eating away at you. And the snake, it wants to find other ways around those things rather than facing those things head on. But it has created a bit of an illusion, a bit of a deceiving yourself kind of energy. You're kind of telling yourself that doesn't matter. That doesn't, it's kind of that, that meme with the dog sitting there with his coffee cup in the middle of the fire going, everything's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's kind of that because you're kind of ignoring this thing from the past that was sort of taken from you. I want to say ripped away from you, whether that be an opportunity, a person, or whatever. There's a big part of you that is avoiding confronting that directly. You're being like that snake, and you're trying to slither your way around that without actually having to deal with that. So just be aware of that because it is a burden sitting upon your shoulders here. We see the cross coming through as well. So there is a bit of a burden, but with Spider-Man, with great burden comes great responsibility. That's not with power. With great power comes great responsibility, right? But it's coming through as with great burdens comes great responsibility to actually, face the ways that you're deceiving yourself. And so that's what these small steps are talking about is taking small steps toward the thing that scares you, toward the thing that, you have been avoiding, the hurt, the pain. The mice comes with a lot of pain and hurt from the past here. Something, you missed out on an opportunity or you lost somebody in your life and it's hurt. It's grief that you need to face in order to stop deceiving yourself that I'm fine, everything's fine, I can get on with my life without having to deal with this. It's kind of telling us that maybe you can't. That's part of the things that need to sort of fall into place here so that you can find faith again in destiny and fate and understand that yes, bad things happen, but sometimes there is a method to the madness. Sometimes there's a meaning, not a meaning in the way that we would perceive it, but a meaning in the way that the universe perceives it. All right, the universe doesn't see things as good and bad. All right, and it's going to take some patience in order for you to understand that about this situation. That just because it was because I feel like for you here, Gemini, it was something bad, hurtful that you've been grieving the loss of in your life. But like I said, the universe doesn't feel pain. The universe doesn't feel the difference between good and bad. It just does what it needs to do to put you in the places that you need to be in your life. And so it's going to take a little bit of time, but you do need to start facing this issue. Okay. Step by step, be patient with yourself. Small steps, even if you have to just sit there and just observe that yes, that happened to me. If that's the first step, that's the small step that you take, so be it. Okay, it's a lot of pain there. I get it. But, you're more than welcome to check out your other placements and see if there's any, an extra layer of information about that for you with one of your other placements there, Gemini. Make sure you leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading. And we will move on over to our Cancers. Okay. Cancer. What does Cancer need to know the most? What does Cancer need to know the most right now? The Door of Hope. Okay, I believe we just had this for Taurus. Optimism, faith, belief, encouragement, and reassurance. All right, I do feel like for you guys here, Cancer, that this is something about having faith and believing it. It's like, if you believe you can, then you will, is what's coming through here. But we'll clarify that for you. And I feel like for a lot of you, this is within your own self, that there's some self-doubt creeping in here. I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can have faith in myself. I don't know if I can believe in myself. So that seems to be something relevant to what's going on for you here. Cancer, what does Cancer need to know the most right now? Internal struggle, definitely. You're okay. We have the whip followed by the tree. Okay, so the whip is that internal struggle. That's the way that you beat yourself up and you punish yourself. You berate yourself, and you cause even more conflict within your own self, because your self-doubt and your lack of confidence and those sorts of self-worth issues are really causing you a lot of drama. You're arguing with yourself inside your own self here. You're fighting things that you don't need to fight, Cancer. And then we do see the tree there. So this is the hope that you can heal, you can grow, you can earn wisdom over that way of thinking about yourself, and gain knowledge about how to deal with those thoughts and whatnot, and mature and just grow and heal yourself within, like the way that you speak to yourself and the way that you treat yourself. Okay, the tree is all about how we take care of ourselves and putting ourselves and our own healing as important, and it's the shadow work stuff, doing the work to make ourselves the version of ourselves that we wish to be, not the one that we tell ourselves, or that little niggling voice tells ourselves that we are. No, the version of ourselves that we want to be, that we constantly you're fighting yourself about that. You're telling yourself, oh, I will never be that person, but you can and you will. All right, because we do see that the growth that you're going through will be revealed to you. It will come to light. We have a lot of clarity coming through here with the sun. All right, and that all that clarity that you're having about the way that you need to heal and grow and mature within your own self, it brings you to happiness. Okay, so there is a reason to hope. There is a reason to believe in yourself. You will find the clarity about how far to go with this, and how to change this for yourself. And for some of you, this is just like it kind of feels like it's just a temporary setback. And once we gain the knowledge and the wisdom from that tree energy on how to speak to ourselves and treat ourselves better, that's something that you'll be able to turn all that pain and all that conflict, all those arguments we have in our own head, into happiness. You'll be able to start chasing the sun instead of getting caught up in this loop of self-flagellation, which is self-punishment. Yeah. There is a reason to hope and believe in yourself. Okay, Cancer. So that's what we're seeing for you. You are more than welcome to check your other placements. Make sure you leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading as well. And we will move on over to our Leos. Okay. Leo, what does Leo need to know the most right now? Leo, what do you need to know the most right now? Oh, door of balance. Justice for some of you here as well. Harmony, equilibrium, stability, moderation, and fairness. All right, so weighing it up a little bit better here for yourself, Leo. I do feel fairness is very strongly coming through here, the justice energy, but making sure that you're treating others fairly as you expect them to treat you. It's equal. It needs to be balanced. Okay, so you're not treating people better than you treat yourself. You're not treating people better than you allow them to treat you. Balance, stability. We're finding that middle ground, okay, so that we can have harmony in our life, balance in our life, justice for some of you here as well, because I am picking up very strongly that there is a couple of you here, Leo, where you bit of a people pleaser, right? You've allowed people to walk all over you, kind of thing. You've allowed people to take more from you and your energy than what they have given to you. All right, and that's coming to an end. You're able to now structure healthy boundaries. All right, and not just putting up these big brick walls between you and people, but healthy boundaries where it's okay to say no, but it's okay to it's okay to give as well. You can give but still have healthy boundaries around that as well. And making and also making sure you're giving to the people that give back to you, that you're not giving, allowing yourself to be taken advantage of in that sort of a sense, that it's reciprocal, balanced, harmonious energy for you here, Leo. But clarifying that message for you, Leo, what does Leo need to know right now, please? Investing in yourself. We have the clover coming through first, Leo. So taking a chance to, put up those boundaries, even though sometimes, especially when you are a bit of a people pleaser, it does take a lot out of you. It does feel like you're taking a big risk to put up a boundary of no, I cannot do that, or I'm not going to do that, or whatever that is for you personally. It can feel like it's a big risk because you feel like as soon as you say no, that no one's going to, want to be around you anymore. But it's a risk that's going to pay off. Okay, it's not about taking uneducated risks either, because we have the book coming through as well. So you're educating yourself on what healthy boundaries look like, and the ways that you can say no without it being, veering off the other side. If we're looking at the balance here, previously you've been saying yes, 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 yes. Okay, and the balance is like this. But saying no, it doesn't necessarily change that. Okay, one no does not therefore mean like drop or anything like that. So you're educating yourself about how to do that in a healthy way for you and, for the people that you care about as well. And you're having those conversations. We see the birds here. So for a lot of you, this is going to involve a conversation I feel like just with someone in specific here, Leo, that you may need to have that conversation in a very intelligent, calm manner. But you're taking a risk on, this is an unknown factor that you're taking a risk on, is to have that conversation. But it's all about, making sure we keep in mind that it's all about balance. It's not about, taking more. It's not about giving less. It's about balance. All right, that you're giving time, love, energy to people that give you time, love, energy in return. All right, you're not bending over backwards for someone, and you're not you're not overtaking anyone either. Okay, so all about balance for you at the moment, Leo. So sit with that for a minute, because I feel like for some of you, it takes you a moment just to realize exactly, whereabouts in your life this is actually referring to, because some of you, you've just been so patterned into doing that for this person all the time that you don't even realize sometimes that they're not giving anything in return. You bend over backwards for them and they do nothing for you in return. So for some of you, you may need to actually just sit with it for a little bit and just sort of grow comfortable with the idea of it, just to start with. Okay, but Make sure you leave a comment so you go in the draw for that free personal reading as well. And we will move on over to our Virgos. Okay, Virgo, what does Virgo need to know right now? Oh, Door of Mystery, Virgo. Secrets, unknown, enigma, suspense, intrigue, obscurity. Something being hidden from you at the moment. So you need to know about this that's being hidden, Virgo. What exactly is this that's being hidden from Virgo? What is the mystery here? What does Virgo need to know right now, please? Something to do with the past, Virgo. It's not so much that it's a secret. It's that it's an enigma. Okay, that there's subconscious reason that you did not understand in the past, because the first card we have here is the mice. So this tells us straight away that this is something that you've had to face in the past, a loss, feeling as though something was taken from you, whether that's a person or a job or an opportunity that was taken from you or you lost somehow, and it's been sitting in the back of your energy, still causing you this blockage within your own self. We have the Mountain here as well. For some of you, that is we've got the Capricorn and the Libra card coming through next as well. So for some of you, this is, if this is a person, it was probably a Capricorn or a Libra that you felt got ripped out of your arms kind of thing. But it's created this blockage within you that it's still eating away at your energy because of this mystery to it. There's this element of mystery to whatever's happened in the past here. And why did I have to lose this? Why did that get taken from me? Okay, and it's created this challenge for you moving forward, but it's kind of talking about chip away, chip away, chip away at this mountain, and you will get there. You will be able to get over that obstacle, get through that blockage, get past the delays that this has caused you in your life. But it's all about this decision. We have the crossroad here, so I'm getting that this is specifically to do with there was a lack of understanding about that decision in the past. Someone has made a decision that resulted in you having something taken from you or something being lost to you. And you just have not understood why that decision was made or what that decision really meant, or there's an extra layer of information that you feel as though has been held secret from you in regard to that. And that seems to be something that you're determined, you're perseverant, you're putting in the work to try to work it out within your own self. And I feel like the answer is within you yourself, Virgo, that because I'm kind of getting this message here that for some of you, especially those of you where this was a person, they told you and you just didn't understand it. But there's just something unlocking within you at the moment, Virgo, where you're starting to understand that decision and why that decision was made. Okay. Can I just get an extra card of clarity for Virgo, please? Something's unlocking within you. I just said that, right? We have the key. It was kind of like an opportunity that couldn't be missed. A doorway that once that doorway was opened, it could not be closed again. Do you know what though, Virgo? It's like whatever you feel the loss, yeah, you feel the stress from the loss and that thing being taken away from you. What you don't actually see is that this is actually it's actually a success. That if that hadn't have happened, there's something going on in your life that you're kind of realizing that if that never had have happened, you would not be moving into the success that you are now moving into. So it was kind of one of those things where, yes, it hurt. Yes, that felt like something being ripped away from you. Felt like a loss. It stressed you out. It was taken away from your energy. It created blockages and obstacles in your life and delays in your life. But you're kind of starting to realize that that was how the path was supposed to be. That, this actually forced you through new doors that weren't open to you either in the past. It's kind of, opened up this hallway of new options for you, and you're finding more success here. But it's kind of like this secret being revealed to you about why something had to happen the way that it did, or why some deeper level of understanding about why something happened in the past here, and it's making you kind of realize it and be grateful for it in a way. There's still a lot of hurt attached and grief and whatnot attached, but it's kind of making you feel a little bit more like, oh, okay, well, if that didn't happen, maybe I would not be moving towards this success, which you kind of like, oh, well, now I have this sense of like gratitude and relief that happened, because I want this thing that's coming in for me next. So a bit of a deep one there for you, Virgo, but that's what we have for you. Make sure you leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading, and we will move on over to Libra. Libra, what's going on for our Libra? What does Libra need to know the most right now? What does Libra need to know the most right now? Oh, Door of the Ancestors, Libra. We had this for Aries as well. So some of you may have, a strong Aries placement there. I'm actually getting, though, that for you guys, this has got more to do with DNA for some reason. It's legacy, roots, wisdom, connection, and guidance. Oh, right. DNA connection, DNA ancestry connection. Yeah. All right. So for some of you, this is you're kind of connecting the dots a little bit here, Libra. That it's you're finding some sort of connection to ancestral roots that for some of you didn't even know up until now. I'm getting some very clear messages here. So for some of you, this is the time to connect to that biological relative that you know about, but you haven't yet connected with. Okay, so for some of you, there's a need, and there is maybe one or two of you that you're questioning, should I go and do that DNA test? And yes, you should. Yes, that now is the time for you to do that, Libra. But for others of you, this is more to do with your actual, long-term ancestry, like you're connecting to heritage. Okay, heritage, cultural heritage is coming through very strongly here for you, that there's some sort of cultural heritage that that is important for you to connect to right now. Libra. What does Libra need to know the most right now, please? Yeah, I just keep getting cultural heritage. We have the letter followed by the book. There's that paperwork. There's that DNA test result coming through for some of you. There's that, communication from biological relative you haven't yet met. The knowledge that you've been wanting to unlock here. The mysteries that you're trying to unravel. This is, going through the family history, reading old letters and trying to really find that knowledge that you're missing. It really is about your actual heritage for a lot of you, your actual DNA, your actual blood ties, family blood ties for a lot of you. Okay. There is something to be gained from all this. And for some of you, it's just quite plain and simple that this is, I'm getting this about this biological connection, right? There's someone here that this communication and this knowledge that you're receiving is actually to do with an inheritance. We have the fish as well. For some of you, it's a spiritual inheritance, yeah? It's a cultural inheritance. Okay, so it can be a lot more than just monetary inheritance that you've inherited. Maybe that's why you're really feeling this draw to connect to your heritage right now. For those of you where this is more cultural than otherwise, because there is like a like a spiritual heritage that you're in, like gaining from connection right now. It's like you have spiritual gifts or something that are starting to unfurl, and you need to connect the dots, sort of thing, and do your research as well. This is definitely doing your research with that book here, finding out more information about yourself, about your abilities for some of you here, okay? Because I'm picking up for some of you, this is like spiritual abundance rather than monetary. But for a couple of you, there is some sort of monetary inheritance mention coming through as well. So you may be sort of expressing communication of wanting to, delve into the books and learn more about the family tree and the family heritage, and, connect with, relatives that you have not yet connected with. And it could actually lead you to monetary gain as well for some of you. So follow that intuition of yours, Libra, that it's taking you in a direction that you actually need to kind of follow that thread right now. So go with that, roll with that, do that DNA test if that's you. Okay, I feel like there's someone with the name R, someone whose name starts with R. The DNA. Leave me a comment if that's you, because the DNA test, you've been really worried about it, but go ahead and do it. It's the right time for that, okay? But yeah, leave a comment anyway, and you'll go in the draw for that free personal reading. But we will move on over to our Scorpios. Okay, Scorpio, what do you need to know the most right now? What does Scorpio need to know the most right now? Scorpio. Ooh, the door of reflection. Who are you mirroring? Reflections of self as well for some of you. Contemplation, rumination, deliberation, and introspection. What is triggering you the most, Scorpio? There's a key for you to unlock a part of yourself through the reflection of what you're seeing in others right now. Okay, and usually that comes through mostly in triggers, but also in, when you're looking at others and you're seeing qualities in other people that you really admire. You're feeling proud of others for certain things that they've done, those sorts of feelings, there's a reflection, an introspection that can be gained from that, because we don't see in others that which does not already exist within ourselves. All right, so there's some information trying to be shown to you through the way that you're looking at other people, the way that others are triggering you, for sure. Triggering energy is a really good sign a lot of the time that there's something about that behavior, or something that they're saying. If it's triggering you, it means something to you. It wouldn't trigger you if it didn't. If you didn't care at all, it would not trigger you. Scorpio, what does Scorpio need to know the most right now? Looking at the situation more rationally as well, like when I say rationally, logically, right? Taking your own emotion away from the situation, and taking things into consideration of, like, if you were talking to somebody and they were saying, oh, this is, I got really triggered about this, or I saw this in someone else, and it made me think of that. What would your advice to them be? Okay, because you speak to yourself very differently than what you speak to others, Scorpio. So try to be objective and step away from the emotion of the situation, and that will help you really sort of find your balance, find that steadiness within that situation. We have the anchor there as well. So there's a lot of steadiness for you to be gained through being observational and rational, rather than diving into the emotion of the situations. Once again, triggering energy. When we're triggered, we get very emotional, don't we? But if the more that you can anchor yourself and start to try to ask yourself, why am I being triggered? What is triggering me? What is it about the behavior that is triggering me? What did that person say that triggered me? Why did that trigger me? Like, what is it about that? What is it about that I care about? Why do I care? Okay. Investing. We see the clover here as well. Investing in yourself and investing in your calm, your steadiness, your, knowing that you can rely on yourself beyond all the emotion and the triggering and the jealousy that someone else is all these amazing things and I'm not. We're holding ourselves very steady through that storm of emotion, and we're investing in the learning process, the taking a chance to actually look at the situation very rationally and see what can be gained and see where that allows us to invest in our introspection and ourselves, and further ourselves. Contemplation is very important at this time, rather than the emotional side of it all, if that helps make sense there, Scorpio. But that's what we've got for you. I do feel as though we did receive a kind of similar message for you recently. Was it in your strength, your it was one of the readings from the other week, maybe. Okay, but that's what we have there for you. Make sure you leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading, and we will move on over to Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to know the most right now? The Door of Visions. Your vision is clearing, Sagittarius. Foresight, revelation, prophecy, sight, senses, apparition. Ooh. Opening yourself up to sight without sight a little bit more. Sagittarius, you've got some strong third eye energy going on there with that card coming through, the Door of Visions, that you can see very, very clearly. You've got a lot of clarity here. For some of you, though, it's spiritual clarity, okay? And using more senses than normal, and not just the five senses, right? So you've got, touch, taste, smell, hearing, sight, using more than just those. It says the word prophecy. It says the word apparition. Okay. So there's something there about, and foresight. It's like you're seeing beyond the veil, seeing beyond the real world at the moment. You're sort of reading the Matrix code right now, Sagittarius. I feel like some of you are gonna love that little reference. You seeing who's an NPC and who's real. You're seeing beyond the mask. Trust it. Trust your intuition a lot here too. What does Sagittarius need to know the most right now, please? Oh, yes. The cross. Spiritual energy. Straight off the mark there. Spiritual energy. With great power comes great responsibility. Why am I getting all the pop culture references for you, Sagittarius? That's pretty much just wanting to say spirituality, like your beliefs, your faith, whether that's a religious faith or a spiritual faith, or just a belief in anything. A belief in anything is a belief. Whether even, I argue with my Sagittarius father sometimes about this, because he's an atheist. And he's always been like, oh, I believe in science. And I turn around, that's a belief, At least you believe in something, Dad. I'm kind of getting that energy coming through here. And he always tries to tell me that Sagittarius, I'm a Sagittarius, we're not spiritual. And I'm like, you would be surprised, Dad. Some of my Sagittarius friends, even some of the, like I have a Sagittarius friend who is born on the exact same day as my father. And my friend is actually very spiritual, very deep. And I've got a few Sagittarian friends and people in my life that are very spiritual. So I don't know what he's talking about. His belief is science and facts, but each to their own, right? As a believing is 90% of the journey, okay? But we do see the lily coming through here as well, Sagittarius. So, a lot of you are opening up to, like a lily, opening up to that more vulnerable part of yourself, which, comes, comes very closely tied in with, intimacy with your own emotions, but also intimacy with your soul, intimacy with, where you want to be at the end of your life. Because I'm picking up here for someone, because we do have the scythe here as well, which can be a sudden break, a sudden changes, unexpected things occurring in your life. So for some of you, you are having some unexpected spiritual related stuff coming up for you right now, and you're kind of seeking that deeper understanding and deeper meaning to those things that you're gaining a little bit of clarity on. But others of you, it's kind of, it is giving me a very specific message here that some of you, you're kind of like, all of a sudden, you're like, what happens if I die suddenly? And what happens then? And have I, am I square with the universe? I need to make sure that I'm all cool. I'm not going to go to HE double hockey sticks or whatever, I need to make sure, we're cool. So some of you are having that kind of like spiritual battle within yourselves right now, that you're kind of thinking about the end, and because that can be retirement, age, and the end of life kind of thing as well. So a couple of you are kind of really, seems to be on the mind right now, and you're gaining a lot of clarity about, do with my current belief system, do I have faith that is going to serve me at the end? And you're really starting to question things and find that clarity within yourself when it comes to your beliefs and your spirituality, and you're really seeing things differently than how you may have seen them in the past. So continue down that path, I suppose. It's like, well, I'm definitely not seeing the end of the life coming through here, but I just feel like for some of you, that's just something that for some reason it's feeling very, you're a little bit vulnerable right now about it, with the whole, oh, what happens, what happens after I pass, and all those sorts of questions are sort of flooding your senses at the minute. So some of you may have been sort of just experienced a death recently that's making you question things, or those sorts of things. Maybe it's just out of nowhere for you. But that seems to be what you need to know right now, that you are gaining clarity that you need for yourself. Okay, because at the end of the day, you're the only one who has to face that, right? It doesn't matter what anyone else believes. They all have their own things that they're going to, that's going to take them to face their things. We all have individual, unique beliefs. Even when we are, there's people that, even within religion, sects, there's still differing belief systems within all of those. Okay, so there's always a uniqueness to belief and faith, and you're gaining a little bit more clarity at the moment about what that means for you. Which is not a bad thing, okay? So that's what we have for you. You're more than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading, and we will move on over to our Capricorns. Okay. Capricorn, what does Capricorn need to know the most right now? What does Capricorn need to know the most right now? The door of time, Capricorn. Whew. I feel like it was a Capricorn reading I even said recently about, this last few weeks, time has slowed down. I don't know whether you felt it or not, but there has been some shifts with the reality of time. It has been feeling very slowed down lately, whereas, energy is trying to balance out reality with, oh my gosh, sorry. It's like the energy of the world is trying to balance out with the reality of time. Two differing structures. So there's a balance sort of being undertaken at the moment. So time is definitely of the essence, but also, what's the word I'm looking for here? Irrelevant. Okay, the keywords on that one: moment, duration, temporal, chronology, chronology, era, instant, eternity. So it's going from an instant to eternity. It's going from a moment to, um, an era, a second to an hour to a year to, time is all and nothing at the same time. There's something about time, like, and the fact that a lifetime passes in the flash of an eye, but also it takes so long to live. There's something about the time shifting for you at the moment, Capricorn. Wow, this is going to be feels deep already, Capricorn. Capricorn, what does Capricorn need to know the most right now, please? Starting off here with the cross, Capricorn. Are you being restrained by burden and responsibility, or are you trusting and having faith that fate is going to fall into place exactly in the time that it needs to? That everything happens when it is supposed to? I'm being drawn here to quite a few messages for you, Capricorn. That's a very spiritual energy, very destined kind of energy coming through there, Capricorn. But it's followed by this snake energy, okay? The snake is Scorpio energy. It is, we're closing off on the end of Scorpio season. So for some of you, the time is now. Everything is happening right here, right now. And it's also not happening at all. I'm getting these weird messages, like flinging time all over the place here, because it's also showing me, that the snake was there at the beginning and it will be there at the end. That if we, Adam and Eve, it was there at the beginning. The snake was there in the garden from the beginning, and it's going to be there at the end. The snake is, a many layered energy. I'm also getting the rainbow snake out of, like the rainbow serpent story is coming through. Once again, the snake was there at the beginning and it will be there at the end. That's from Australian Aboriginal culture. For those of you who've never heard of that before. And it's showing me like a snake. It's kind of like the rainbow serpent imagery that you would see in Aboriginal stuff. That it's like every single scale is a different color and a different time. It's like it's everything, but it's nothing all at once. It's got the whole world shimmering in amongst all its scales. It's got all of time. This is such a deep message. It's just trying to unearth it properly for you, Capricorn. The snake is such a many-layered card as well. It can talk about, illusions that are being created. Can talk about following temptation, like, the snake from the Bible stories. Can talk about creation, because snakes lay eggs, and eggs are, the What came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, if you actually stop and think about it, eggs came first, right? Because of dinosaurs, because of reptiles, snakes. There's something really, I keep getting the word enigmatic. I'm not even sure what that word means. And it's like tongue tying me up here. We also have the book. So there's like time holding secrets. You're being, the ways in which you've been deceived, you will soon learn. The mysteries of the universe are being revealed at the same time as moving into more unknowns. That you need to have faith that everything is as it should be, that it will happen when it is supposed to happen, that there is something here about, the threads of everything and nothing are so interwoven that we can never read the whole story. There's no ending, like a Ouroboros snake, there's no ending, there's no beginning and there's no end. One is the other. Can I just get some clarity on this message for Capricorn, please? Because can you please clarify or reword this message for Capricorn, please? That was on the bottom of the deck a moment ago. We have the stork followed by the mountain. Shifting mountains, new perspectives, new ideas on what the challenges really are for you, Capricorn, what the obstacles really are for you, Capricorn. There's, you here are the mountain. We have the Aries card there. The snake is Scorpio. Like I said, the book is Pisces. We've got quite a lot of signs there for you. But here's you, Capricorn, being stirred up and changed. Like time. What does time do to mountains? It changes them. It wears them away. Time is the only thing that can, overcome a mountain with its immovable force. Time is the only thing that can overcome that. And we see here with the stork, things getting stirred up. This is like the birth of a brand new mountain, of brand new challenges, a brand new work needing to be done here. New ideas and new perspectives on how to persevere, Capricorn. I kind of really hate that I cannot find the clear, concise construct within that message for you, Capricorn. Honestly, it's, when Tyler Tarot says, I'm not connecting with this reading, and it means so much to someone out there, and everyone, like, there's always people in the comments saying, I understood it completely, and Tyler just doesn't understand what the message is. That's what that is. I do not understand that message. I'm a Capricorn and I do not understand that message. Maybe I will when I'm ready to understand that message. There's something under the surface going on, Capricorn, that when the time is right, you will understand that message. I'm sorry I can't be clearer with that message, Capricorn. You might want to check one of your other placements and see if it adds a layer of information for you. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for giving me the time to channel that out, even if it didn't make sense to us, okay? Sorry. Make sure you leave a comment and let me know if you get it. Let me know, because I'll probably have to rewatch this to actually maybe make sense of what I've just said, because quite often when I channel, I don't even consciously hear what the message is. That was definitely one of those deep messages that I just don't get straight away, Capricorn. So I'll definitely be rewatching this portion myself, trust me. But leave me a comment and you'll go in the draw for that free personal reading. And we will move on over to Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius. How are we today, Aquarius? What does Aquarius need to know right now? What does Aquarius need to know right now? Door of Miracles, Aquarius. Wonder, phenomenon, marvel, blessing, extraordinary, and divine. For some reason, as soon as I saw the word Door of Miracles, I got the movie Miracle on 34th Street coming through, which is a Christmas movie. So maybe there's like some sort of sense of wonder and joy about the Christmas period, and seeing everyone starting to put up their Christmas lights and decorations, and maybe it's bringing this this extraordinary energy in for you, Aquarius, but this sense of wonder, childlike wonder coming through. Aquarius, it maybe doesn't have anything to do with Christmas for all of you, of course. It is a collective message, but I was just getting the Christmas movie for some reason. Aquarius, what does Aquarius need to know the most right now, please? I'm also getting, for some of you, it's understanding that miracles can be yours, and understanding that, that childlike sense of wonder has not been lost to you. All right. That even though you think that you're jaded and whatever, it's still there within you. All right. So maybe it's time to find it, Aquarius. We have the clover coming through first. So, investing in yourself and investing in the way that you're giving to yourself and to others. This is the flowers there as well. All right. Especially the way that you're giving thought to others, perspective to others, advice to others. Okay. So that's quite a clear kind of message there. In total opposition to what we just saw with Capricorn, of course. It's telling you to invest in giving your time and thought to others. Okay? So if you're giving a gift to somebody, make sure it is a gift, that you really thought about. We're not just picking up something off the shelf. We're not just giving cash. This needs to be something that is well thought out. Whatever you're giving to others at the moment, whether it's time, love, energy, or thought and advice, because that it's just giving me like advice for some reason. I don't normally get advice so much with the clouds, but it keeps telling me advice. So for some of you, your way of thinking is what's helping somebody. Your opinion and the way that you think about things, your perspective, is what's helping somebody here. So investing and taking a chance on giving that to others. And the more that you give, the more that you receive back in return as well. For some of you, this is investing in giving to your own thoughts. Paying attention to your thoughts, especially your positive thoughts, not the negative ones, Aquarius, and understanding that, that childlike sense of wonder, that those miracles that you're thinking, those things are impossible. Let's see if we can make them possible. Giving yourself time to invest in, even those crazy thoughts that you might have. And once again, not crazy in a bad way, crazy in a good way. Okay, Aquarius, Crazyfaerie. Crazy can be awesome. It's not always the the unhinged negative connotation. All right. But that's what we have for you, Aquarius. You're more than welcome to check out your other placements, but do leave a comment so you can go in the draw for that free personal reading. And we will move on over to Pisces. Okay. Pisces. What does Pisces need to know the most right now? What does Pisces need to know the most right now? Door of Discovery. Ooh, embarking on adventure, Pisces. Tongue-tied. Exploration, uncovering, learning, insight, and enlightenment. So yeah, the door of discovery, discovering yourself, starting this adventure, discovering, what comes next for you here, Pisces. And it's kind of like talking about this excitement building up within you to, I don't even know what's coming next, but it's exciting to find out kind of energy is coming through for you here, Pisces. Let's have a look. Pisces, what does Pisces need to know the most right now? Trust yourself, trust your intuition. Okay, we have the moon coming through first. Your emotions are trying to, and especially the discovery of those emotions and, the insight of what those emotions stir within you and what they mean for you and why they have meaning, why you have those emotions. Really following the draw of your emotions at the moment, Pisces, because it is leading you to discover more about yourself and about what you want in this life. What means something to you, because if it didn't mean something to you, you wouldn't have emotions about it, good and bad. All right. Trusting your intuition. Your intuition is really trying to drag you along to the places you need to be right now, Pisces. Definitely. I'm getting for some of you career advice is coming through. Okay, with that moon sometimes can be a career card. And then I'm seeing the birds and the dog coming through here. So the birds is talking about a conversation with a friend. The dog is man's best friend. So someone that you're very loyal to and from, someone that you have that friendship with, that, understanding and compassion for you. And they do so through the way that they converse with you. For some of you, this is, like, it can be talking about it like a therapist, even for some of you here as well, which I highly recommend therapy if you're not already, in therapy. It's good to have someone to talk to and talk through things that that they're understanding and compassionate and they've got your back, uh, even if they're being paid to, right? They're there for you, to work for you, not against you. All right. So having those conversations with, people that are loyal and compassionate, about your emotions or about the things that you're feeling drawn to, really helping you undiscover, that's not even a word, right? Discover parts of yourself that you didn't even know existed, and give you those insights and enlightenment about yourself here. I do feel for a lot of you, this is quite simply taking advice from friends. Seems to be very important for you right now. So when I ask, what do you most need to know right now? It's trust your intuition, listen to your emotions, and have conversations with friends and people that are loyal and understanding, and have those conversations that are going to lead you to discover more about yourself and about the world or whatever it is that you're wanting to discover at the moment, right? Learn more, learning, uncovering, exploring self insights and enlightenment. All right. So there's a lot for you to learn at the moment, especially about yourself, Pisces, and about your emotions as well. All right. But that's what we have for you. Make sure you leave a comment so you go in the draw for that free personal reading. And I will see you all again soon.